Hey folks, Durag Wisdom here. Welcome to Earth Day Y2K 20.01.13. 13 is one of my favorite numbers. Something is seriously wrong. So I'm trying to compile a little list. But somebody already did that, writing a book, Amy Siskind, who wrote a book called The List, which would be much more extensive than mine, because she documented with her book in a month by month the first year of this traitorous Trump bastard's rule and contamination of our lives. But I'm trying to get something together too. I call it my Something Is Seriously Wrong list, after that character that Al Pacino played in And Justice for All, a movie directed by Norman Jewison. So let's look at some of the list of what's seriously wrong. No people of color in the Democratic field. Started off with the most diverse field you could imagine, whittled down to basically white people. Why? Are there more white people living in the United States still than there are people of color? And the other question I should have is, why should I decide who somebody should vote for? I mean, just because I'm Jewish, should I vote for somebody who's always going to be for Israel? Or if someone is black, does that mean they're obligated to support someone who's black? Or if someone is gay, does that mean they have to support someone who is gay? Do I have a right to dictate to people who they're going to support? Why did all these candidates of color get whittled down? Whose fault is this? Well, I say that somehow, some way, they got to repair this. This is a disturbing trend. This is one of these conspiracy theories I have about the Democratic Party being undermined by these right-wing corporate forces. Moderate the party. Keep, you know what you do with a pencil, you keep sharpening it. Keep sharpening that Democratic pencil. Keep sharpening it until it's down to a nub. Why did this happen? And that's a question we're going to have to ask. Because here we got a criminal sociopath, and this is another thing that's seriously wrong here. A criminal sociopath who loves dictators and just helped to murder 176 innocent travelers on an airplane, the 10th one out of the Iranian airport, and impeached Bertha Creep, Nazi racist, and he's still being allowed to run for re-election for office of President of the USA. Why don't we just put a wanted poster up for him instead of having a campaign poster? I'd like to smuggle into the Republican National Convention a bunch of signs that have a wanted poster. Furthermore, people are debating about which candidate is best for beating this criminal thug, when all of them should beat him. And even a pile of freaking feces should beat that criminal thug. What's wrong with our heads, folks? What's wrong with it? It's going to be as bald as this after a while. Or we'll all grow comb-overs if you want. Something is seriously wrong here, folks. And now, to add insult to injury, something is seriously wrong here. Right in front of our eyes, we are seeing the dissolution of our democratic constitutional republic. Destroyed right in front of our eyes. We're busy watching the crap on the tube and the crap they keep grinding out from corporate Hollywood. The founding fathers and mothers foresaw the possibility of a criminal imperial presidency dictatorship and what we should do about it, but they did not foresee the possibility of a criminal Senate under the watch of Moscow Mitch. Something is seriously wrong here, folks. Because we've been busy fighting amongst ourselves, us people more liberal, more progressive, people on the left. And while we were fighting amongst ourselves, the right-wing, religious extremist fascists were busy playing the long game. Why are we in the situation we're in today? I always blame a lot on reality TV and the other crap that we're exposed to that eats our brains. It's also because a lot of us are tired. We work hard, we come home at night, we just don't have the energy. We don't know who or what. We're cynical, we're pessimistic, like me. We've given up. But it's life and death, ladies and gentlemen, because now, thanks to us being asleep, we have a Citizens United, thanks to a right-wing Supreme Court. It's going to get more right as we get along, especially if this creep gets reelected, because I don't know how long Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to last. So you got that Citizen United and gerrymandering and voter suppression going on right under our noses. Something is seriously wrong here. The invasion of right-wing religious extremist judges in our lower and our federal courts, in our Supreme Court. Judges with an agenda. And why not? Why not, right? We don't even need to have justice in this impeachment. Something is seriously wrong here. Well, Australia and the planet burns. Puerto Rico suffers more natural disasters so that Putin's president, the one that's in the USA here, can murder more on this besieged island. But don't worry. The Super Bowl, the Academy Awards, Survivor, Dancing with the Stars, and The Bachelor will go on as usual. Hooray! Something is seriously wrong here. This criminal, creep, Nazi Trump almost got us into a war with Iran. I knew stuff like this was going to happen. And I'm not a pundit. And he's been trying to get us into a war with this country for over 3 years. Will he succeed in the last months of his criminal presidency? And he was going to do this using this false intelligence like they did with Iraq. This Trump fiend only uses intelligence when it isn't. Did I mention the 176 people? Yeah, I did. 176 people get... I'm afraid to fly. I haven't flown since 9/11. 176 people had to die, right? Because the sociopathic, Nazi thug in our White House needed to make people forget about his impeachment. Cause and effect. Had the deal, the nuclear deal remained in place with any flaws, but who knows, we could check it, whatever. If it had remained the way Obama left it, instead of this sociopath coming in and dicking around with it, 176 people may still be alive today, including babies, which, oh wait a minute, they were newly born babies, infants that died on that 176 people, right? They don't matter because they're already born. That's the only thing the creeps that are trying to run our lives care about us if you're unborn. Let's cut our throats so we could all be dead. Will they care about us then? Oh, the next world. The next world. I wouldn't want to share the next world with the creeps that are running things now. That would be hell. How much more innocent blood is going to drip off the fiend's little hands before we stand up and abandon the madhouse, the freaking madhouse, for a real, refined, harmonious world?